Hello! Hello, hello. Pokopia just announced the next limited time event. And I think this is the best one we've got so far. Not only do we get my man Jirachi, but we finally get a new event system, which I'm really excited about. And that's not even talking about all the items. Not me scripting this video. I'm actually doing that this time. Crazy, but I did try to date skip ahead, and I wanted to try to get footage of the event ahead of time just to show you guys some things, but I couldn't. So instead of that, you're just going to get some footage of me going through my Skylands and messing around as I talk here. So what that means, though, probably is like whatever is needed for the event to work just probably isn't loaded into the game. I don't know if it's going to require an update. It might be something they can quietly push through Wi-Fi, which is why that's part of the requirements here. But we'll talk about that in a second, I suppose. Either way, you know, I have to imagine that it's going to be possible to time travel back to it, or even forward to it, depending on whenever they make this live. They'll probably wait till the event date itself. But anyways, the Wish Upon a Jirachi event begins June 23rd at 5 in the morning. So if you didn't know, 5 in the morning is when the game, you know, resets itself to daytime again, you know, after the whole nightfall thing. And it's going to end July 8th at 4:59 in the morning, which is a minute before the reset. So that makes total sense. During the event, as expected, my Wish Boy will visit the Pokemon Center. And while he's there, you'll be able to complete requests to earn special Wish Notes. You can turn those into Jirachi for exclusive rewards. You know, I kind of like this. Previously, what they've done is, you know, they send you off to a dream island to collect a bunch of items that only spawn when you're in the dream island itself, so you just kind of go around and collect them all and then trade those in. I was getting a little tired of it after 2 events like that, so I like that they're switching it up a little bit. You know, now we have this whole mechanism of talking and interacting with our Pokemon to complete requests. I don't know what those requests will be. Hopefully they're semi-interesting as well, but, you know, even just switching up the formula a little bit like this, I think I appreciate. So let's talk about the rewards now. I'm going to pop up an image on my screen as I'm looking at it here, so you'll see that as I keep talking here. But I guess before that, you know, there are some important requirements just to be made aware of. You need to have at least 1 Pokemon Center rebuilt. You must have at least 1 Pokemon Center rebuilt, or else Jirachi can't visit you. That totally makes sense to me. You'll need an internet connection. I don't think that means you need like a Nintendo Online subscription, just an internet connection itself to be able to, I guess, download whatever is necessary to make the event work. And you need to make sure your game is updated. So the most recent version of the game is 1.1.0. You'll have to be on that version of the game. But that's really it. So most people should be able to meet those requirements, unless you don't have a Wi-Fi connection, really, or a Switch 2, but then why would you even care? I'm just kind of looking at some of the stuff that's there. You know, I see a little dresser, a bed, a table. I can't quite tell what's next to the table. It looks like... I really can't tell. But, you know, past that, you've got a lamp. I believe that's a clock next to it. We're going to get to that in a second. A rug. I think those are the stars as well. A telescope and what looks to be a cannon. So a new cannon, which I didn't know we needed. I'll overlay another image here now. They also happen to post like a little 5x5 that they designed where they kind of show all the items so we can see them a bit better here. The stars on the wall, that's kind of cool. I think all the events have something like that, right? Hoppip had the little banner things. Sableye had the gems. We got stars for Jirachi. Clock on the wall, that was a clock. I'm happy I could see it there. I see the lamp. I still don't know what that thing to the right of the cash register was. Or sorry, not to the right, to the left of the cash register. I still don't know what that is. I think I see it right behind the player. It just looks like a little, I guess like a little makeup area you would put on a table. That has to be what it is. I can't really, I think that's a hairbrush. I don't know. We'll have to see, but it is nice that they supplied this image here so we get a better look at it. But, you know, as someone who spent a lot of time building in Pokopia, I'm getting some pretty immediate inspo. I think there's a lot of stuff that's going to fit amazingly in my moon home that you're kind of seeing me head towards right now. In fact, I'm pretty confident I'm going to make Jirachi live inside of the moon, because why not? Besides that, you know, I've got some ideas about, you know, some magical builds or even like a dream-themed town that would probably exist outside of the Skylands because my Skylands is getting a bit crowded. But this event's going to be great. You know, I guess just to kind of close this video out here, I want to talk about the event system again really quickly here. Amazing change. You know, they can't just regurgitate the exact same format every single time or it's going to get stale. So I like that they're trying something a little bit new. You know, don't get me wrong, it's not going to be like a groundbreaking change or anything like that. But it's nice to, you know, not have to visit a dream island and do the same things over and over again. You know, Jirachi's like the first mythical Pokemon available in a live event like this. I had no idea that was going to be a thing, so that makes me super excited about whatever comes next. But overall, just like Game Freak being willing to continue doing events like this, to me does kind of show that they are really dedicated to provide long-term support for this game. And I guess even past that, you know, the event itself just gives players a reason to return before the actual DLC arrives. Like, well before the DLC arrives. So, you know, I'm excited for this. You know I will be streaming it whenever it starts. And I might make a whole video just about the event itself directly whenever we get that, because why not? But yeah, I will be streaming it. Speaking of streaming, I did decide on a whim to stream today. So by the time this video is posted, I am probably actually streaming right now. If you want to pop in and say hi, feel free. We're going to be doing Skyland stuff. No pressure though, if you don't, no problem. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. There's not much else I can really tell you. I mean, I think a lot of it we're just going to have to wait and see. I'm excited. I hope you guys are. That's it for me though. There's nothing I can say past this point, like I said. I'm going to go stream now. And maybe I'll run into you later. Maybe I'll run into you on stream. Either way, I hope you have a great day. I'm out.